Hi everyone, it's Meg Salter here from Auridian Training and Consulting. I have been getting a lot of requests for help getting some resumes ready and starting to get job ready. And so because I can't get back to everyone, and I'm so sorry, I have started to pull in some experts to have a bit of a chat about how you can make sure that you are ready to be recruited. So in order to make you guys the ideal candidate, I have pulled in Amanda Ewing from Wanderlust Resumes and Edwina McCulloch, who's also from Auridian Training and Consulting. But we're going to be talking about achievements today, and achievements in specifically on your resumes, but they will obviously come up again when you are interviewing. So I thought that this is going to be something that the word is being thrown around in other webinars that I have conducted, and so I thought that we would literally just hone in on this one thing, the importance of having very well clarified and specified achievements that are going to highlight you as the perfect candidate. So I'm going to hand over really quickly to Amanda, first of all, just to give a quick background about herself. Hello, Amanda. Thanks for your time.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I am the owner and founder of Wanderlust Resumes. So launched in March after doing a bunch of other resumes for friends, and couldn't come at a better time with COVID and the industry in a whole world of hurt and pain and really needing help, especially with lots of people looking to transfer to other industries and not really knowing how to portray those skills. So yeah, I'm here to help, and today we're going to talk about achievements.
Fantastic. And Eddy, bit of background.
I'm Eddy. I am from Auridian Training and Consulting. My boss lady is Meg. My background prior to being at Auridian was an area leader for Flight Centre, and I was with them for over 16 years. And so even though I didn't work in recruitment, I certainly spent hours in the recruitment process and looked at resumes and know what worked in a business, what we threw out, what we liked, what we didn't like. So that's my background in terms of the experience, and pivoting in our Auridian business from training and consulting. We're consulting on careers and resumes, and I've been doing a lot in that space recently. Yeah, that's me.
So I really love that we've got sort of the expert who is learning and actually doing this all of the time, and actually writing achievements and trying to make sure that, first of all, they're tailored and that they are going to translate to a number of different industries. And then, of course, we've got our expert, Eddy, who is looking constantly at what are your achievements and how right are you going to be for this role. So I'm hoping that in this session we don't necessarily always agree as well, so we would like sort of some different points of view. But I am just going to hand over to Amanda first of all. Achievements just comes up all the time with resumes, and I did the Rock and Resumes webinar earlier in the week with Kate Bartlett and Philippa Baker, and they just talked about achievements non-stop. And it was really, I mean, they made it really clear that the achievements are going to be the make or break. They really are the bridge between whether you are right for the role that they are recruiting for. So I thought I'd just can you just give us a little bit of background on the why? Like, what sort of story do people build by highlighting their achievements rather than just going through their details and their professional history?
Yeah, so achievements are important because your future employer wants to see that you can do the job that they have at the time. So they don't necessarily want to see a laundry list of duties and responsibilities. They don't care if you know how to generate an invoice, answer the phone, answer an email. Most of those things would be assumed that you would know how to do that. They want to see through results and achievements that you have done in the past that will translate to them that you can do the job that they have. So so that's why we're trying to really look at what you've done as opposed to an award that you might have achieved. So people hear achievement and think award. And it's great if you have awards, and you can even put those on your resume under a separate section for awards and recognition. But what employers want to see is achievements. What did you do in that role that produced a result, and a result that is quantifiable?
Now, this is interesting, the quantifiable point, because Philippa Baker talks a lot about how when she's looking at resumes, she likes to just go through numbers.
Yeah.
And obviously achievements, there's probably going to be some numbers around that. Eddy, in the travel industry, it's all numbers. I mean, everything comes down to something with a bloody percentage sign after it. But if we're looking at quantifiable but also translatable achievements, there's going to be a bit of oddness around that, I think.
Yeah, it's really interesting because what you just brought up before, Amanda, was the awards and put that in a different section, and then achievements. And I think when I've been getting resumes come through, when there has been achievements or awards on it, it's actually been the $1.5 million consultant or platinum consultant, and those are probably awards rather than and what does that actually, like, when someone looks at that, they think, well, what does that actually mean? Like, and how often
industry is not going to understand that.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, and you said quantifiable achievements, so in the space of, like, would that be things like staff retention, or your customer base, or if you grew a really loyal customer base, would you need to be talking about percentages, or could you say that I had a loyal, strong customer base, or would you need to be putting a number against it?
Look, you don't have to have a number, but numbers jump out from the page. So they're eye-catching, and that helps with your achievement being read. So like you say, $1.5 million consultant, it's a sales award. Yeah, it is a number, which is great, and it's a sales award. That might be maybe a result of an achievement. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, so you could use that as a number, but also it depends on on the role that you're going for. So what I tell my clients is, travel agents, they come with a closet full of sales awards, right? Every travel agent's got sales awards.
They've got as many awards as they have frocks for balls, I reckon.
Correct. So if you are going for another role in sales or another role in customer service, then those awards are relevant. But if you were trying to transfer to a different industry, an admin role, an executive assistant, moving into the health sector, things like that, they don't care about your sales awards. It means nothing to them, right? So they want to see results of things that you've done. And as agents, there's such a huge focus on your sales awards, but you've done so many other things just in your day-to-day that can be achievements. So especially leaders, like your achievement is growing and developing staff, which maybe the result is then increased staff retention by a percentage, which gives you your number. Or maybe you rolled out a process that increased productivity, or took a loss from $5,000 a month to a saving of $60,000 a year. So lawyers love to see things like increased productivity, increased morale, increased margins or profits, revenues. They also like hearing saved time, saved money. Those are the important things that they want to see and hear, and that's what translates to them as, this is someone I want to hire because they produce results.
So someone going for like an admin role or a PA role, what what achievements would be relevant to those sorts of roles. And the reason why I ask that is because there's been a lot of those roles coming up.
There have been. I know.
Yeah.
Or people
go.
applying for those kind of roles.
So achievement, I'll say something like, in fact, I've got some here. Can I show you? I'm going to read some.
Read them. Go for it.
I managed a high volume workload successfully within a deadline driven environment. Is that all right?
Yep.
How
it sounds
about,
though more like something you might put in the cover letter, the way that it's been written.
they're all going to sound like cover letters now. Hang on. Consistently met performance benchmarks around speed, accuracy, and client satisfaction.
Yeah. So what you want is
cover letter again.
Yeah. You want to articulate the action and the result. So what did you do, and then what was the result of that action?
Okay.
So one of the ways to really help with articulating that is by starting your sentence with an action word. So like implemented, spearheaded, mentored, things like that.
Nice.
And one of the bonuses with that as well is that when people read it, they picture you in action, which is also good, for the psyche, or, if someone's reading that, and it's engaging as well, instead of I, me.
Okay. So you've got a formula for this, because I know that some of the stuff that I've seen coming through in the resumes that I have been asked to have a look at or rewrite, they're a bit waffly, they're either really generic or they're too specific to the industry. So what's your formula, and what are some examples of some great achievements that you've come up with?
Yeah, okay. So I usually send to my clients a form around key achievements, and it uses the CAR method, which is challenge, action, and result, or CAR. So it really helps to identify some of those achievements that are not necessarily sales awards. And a lot of the time when I ask people, what are your achievements, they just come up blank straight away, or they find it really, really difficult. So using this method, it asks you to think about when you first started a role and what challenges you came up against. So maybe when you started a role, you took over from somebody else who'd done a bit of a shonky job. And when you started, things were in a mess. So what action, and so that was your challenge. Then what action did you take to rectify that or move forward? So maybe you implemented a new process by doing this, that, the other thing. Maybe you spoke to different stakeholders or whatever, and then what was the result of that? So maybe the result of that was increased productivity, which in turn increased revenues, whatever. So when I ask people to think about these things, I ask them literally just to write down each of those things to challenge the action and result. You don't need to write it as if you are trying to write your resume. You're basically identifying these things so that you can identify what your challenge was, identify what your action was, and identify what your result was. And then from that, you can articulate an achievement. So you basically, action plus result equals achievement.
Yeah.
So in that example, where the action was rolled out an action plan, the result was productivity increased by 50%. Maybe the achievement is spearheaded action plan rollout that delivered immediate and significant productivity and revenue benefits. So straight away, it's hard hitting. It's a hard hitting fact. It's engaging. It's delivered well, and it tells the reader what you did and what the result was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So I have another example here from one of my clients who was applying to be a lecturer in travel and tourism, at a university. So I'm going to go through her answers for challenge, action, result, and then the achievement that we got from it. So the challenge that she had was training and upskilling while in 3 months isolation. team of 15 who are all working from home and working under high levels of work and pressure.
Yep.
Her action, she said, taking the time to work out each team member's learning style, if that be visual learners, auditory learners, reading, writing learners, and design material that suited that person's style of learning.
Yep.
So she had practical activities, pre-recorded spoken activities, webinars, step-by-step written manuals, all these different things, and made it a huge priority to make sure that the consultants had access to it. They had support and felt safe in asking questions to get support as well.
Yep.
So while she's answering this, you can really get the feel of what she's trying to achieve. So she's going for a role in lecturing. So she's really trying to portray her training skills or training ability.
Yeah.
Here. So then the result was upskilling a team of 15 into job roles that they had not done before, including jobs new to the company due to COVID. Training material created for the online training will be used again for future training and upskilling. So that was her challenge and her action, and then her result. So the more you put into this, the more you get out of it. So she's really done well to answer these questions.
Yeah.
The achievement that we got out of it was, hang on one second, I've got the wrong thing up.
You know what? We nearly got booted off this call, actually, but I've just upgraded my free, cheap-ass Zoom account to a pro. So keep going. Find the right one and keep going.
Okay, so the achievement that we got from this was design new learning material, adapting to various learning styles, visual, auditory, read, write, and kinesthetic, after negotiating training and upskilling for a team of 15 in a work-from-home environment during isolation, enabling newfound tasks to be completed and future training to be readily conducted. So that's, even though she identified each one of those challenge action result, we were able to articulate it into a small bullet point as an achievement for that role. And it tells the story of what she did and how she got there, and is tailored to the role that she's applying for.
Right. And how many achievements would you be putting on each role?
So I would focus on your most recent role, and I would try and put at least 3 achievements for that role. It depends on how many roles you have as well over the last 10 years. So some people have been in the same job for the last 10 years. So I would definitely put, 3 achievements for that role. If you have more roles than that, then I would start dialing back the further back you go,
Wow.
2 achievements, 1 achievement, whatever, as they become less relevant. But yeah, really trying to focus on the role you're applying for and tailoring those achievements to it is, I think, what you really have to do, especially now when there's so many applicants for the same roles and it's a real fight out there to get noticed.
Yeah.
But it also shows you've read the job spec properly, and you are
absolutely.
you're not just sending the same thing to everybody.
Yep, and that you've put the effort in as well.
So Amanda, what do you do if you don't have a job that someone is going for, but you're actually doing their resume? I feel like we're interviewing you now, but what do you do in terms of sort of coming up with achievements for that job? If you can't tailor them.
I usually ask my clients to tell me what kind of roles they are applying for.
Yeah.
Are they applying for the healthcare sector, or are they applying for admin? Are they going for sales and customer service roles? Those are the easiest ones because that's your entire background is sales and customer service. So but if you're going for something in healthcare, that's where those kind of melt away, and that's where you need to start drawing on the other experience that you've got and really trying to show strength in those areas. The other thing is try to show that you are taking steps towards that industry. So the healthcare sector is a great example, because even just being a medical receptionist, you will likely not be given the time of day if you don't know or understand medical terminology. You know, so going and doing a short course to learn medical terminology, or having something on your resume that says that you are doing this, or that you taking steps to do it, you're enrolled, or it's commencing next month, or whatever, is just, you know, everything that you can sort of grab onto to back up your claim to go for this role.
Yeah.
Is important.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Actually interesting you should say that, because I've got a client that I've been working with who wants to be a medical receptionist, and we spoke about that one thing about there's a course that she can actually do to be.
One of my clients actually sent me a link to where they're doing their study at the moment, so I can post that in the comments as well for anyone looking to upskill in that area.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. Now, what I might just do, just to finish up, just to wrap up, is Eddy, can you just say a common award in the travel industry? Oh, by the way, I've actually put the girls on the spot to do this. This is going to be really fun for me. I feel like Ellen DeGeneres, but can you come up with an award that people might put on a resume that they think is fantastic for travel, in the travel industry? That won't translate, and then Amanda, can you maybe do a little bit of a car on it and sort of turn it into something a little bit more translatable? Okay.
Let's try.
I'm not talking. I find that quite hard, Meg, because like I feel like a lot of the stuff that's actually coming through is awards, and I've just learned that it's not about the awards; it's actually about achievements, which are very different. So
the award can highlight it.
Yeah, the award could be the result, you know. So
I worked hard over 12 months' time, hitting my goals every single year or every single month.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, some of the ones that I have seen, which have been sort of good to apply the method to, is novices. So I had one where you know, a novice was in a high-performing store with high expectations, and it was, you know, a make it or break it kind of situation. And the action that they took was to, you know, really hone in on their customer service, really go the extra mile to understand clients' needs, and, you know, trainings and product learnings and stuff to basically bring themselves up to the caliber that they had to be in that store. And resulted in that person achieving globals at Flight Centre as a novice, you know. So that is a really good one. So your result was, you know, you were recognised on a global, you know, on the global stage through your hard work, or through, you know, demonstrating the stuff to keep your head above water in a store that demanded it, you know.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And even I think because I see a lot of, say, I had the highest novice average in my area, which means
nothing to no one.
But I also see a lot of, you know, I went to the global ball, and once again, you know, like people might have seen, you know, like the Flight Centre guys, for example, which is quite often where it comes from. But they'll be, you know, they might have seen a slip and slide, or they might have heard about the global ball on a Flight Centre Facebook page. They have no idea. So I like that it's called the global gathering, but I also quite like, so sometimes I'll write, let me see if I've got one here. So recipient of 6 global sales awards whilst with the Flight Centre Travel Group. Or where is it? I've been amongst the top 5 sales consultants globally at Flight Centre Travel Group from over 20,000 employees, almost every year of employment.
Yeah, I mean, that's good because it's quantifiable and you've got numbers in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes to put it into perspective for people outside of the industry who might not know what it is, I say, you know, the team qualified or I qualified and attended the global gathering in wherever it was and the year, joining the elite ranks of Flight Centre's top achievers. You know, so
And I think it's top 10% or something, is it, Eddy? It's the top 10% that go to global?
I thought it was less, 3?
Top 5, top
3%.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. It probably doesn't matter as long as it's a really low number.
Yeah.
Clearly, if we don't know, we all work for the company then.
Yeah, we all had a different answer.
Yeah. So just making it as quantifiable as possible, and just so I guess if your partner or your friends at the pub wouldn't understand how good the award was, then you need to rewrite it.
Yeah. I like that, action and result.
Action and result. Beautiful.
Because I feel like in a lot of the resumes it's the result.
Yeah, and I had that come up again the other day, where it was all result, and so I, went back with, a bit more forensic questioning. Well, what did you do to achieve it? What was your part in it? Was it a team effort? Was it an individual effort? Who did what? What did you do? How did you get there? What's the story? So
fantastic.
It's just about digging a bit deeper, going deeper than surface value. Yeah. And you come out of it feeling a bit more empowered as well, you go, holy shit, I didn't even know that was there, So yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback like that.
Great.
Yeah. Excellent.
And I think what the other thing, like you said, that empowerment, it's that confidence where there's a lot of people feeling really low in confidence right now, and just being able to articulate that. But when you talk about the action that resulted in the result or the great result, then that's like that, like you said, that empowerment, but that confidence boost to go, I am fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, taking ownership of it, and it also gives you confidence. Like if you are to get that phone call and get that interview, you've got examples already that are ready to go for that interview, and you know what's in your resume straight away as well. It's the CAR method's also a really good interview method to help you come up with examples and that, so that you're not, when someone asks you a question, you're not on the sitting there on the spot coming up blank. And you can probably deflect a few questions as well if it's already there on paper and you've got examples. So
fantastic. Excellent.
Love it.
Listen, that was excellent. I have once again learnt that I have stuffed up a lot of people's resumes, so for that I am very sorry. But one thing, just after doing these webinars, one thing that I'm learning is, because the way I think most people go about it is they go, okay, how are we going to format this? We'll write a little bit of a bio. What's my education? What's my professional history? And then, references or whatever. And eventually you'll be like, should chuck a couple of achievements in, and, what are my awards, or what do my certificates say, or whatever. And I think the thing that I have learned so far is, if you're looking at if there's a job that you specifically want to go for, the first thing you need to do is think about the achievements that you can marry up to that job, and the rest of your resume should almost build around that. So my parting words are, go forth and think about your achievements. Stop stressing about sort of the resume and the formatting and everything, because the biggest thing is actually going to be what you have achieved, and how you can link that into some sort of story about why you're the ideal candidate for this particular role. So, Eddy, Amanda, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
We are going to wrap up now. We will have some stuff, so Amanda will put some information in the comments. And if you do have any questions as well, both Eddy and Amanda and myself will all be tagged in this. And so you just pop them in the comments and we can answer them for you. So thanks for your time. Thanks, chicks. See ya.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.